Minnesota Fighting Vikings head coach Kevin O'Connell met with the local media jackals on Wednesday ahead of the Vikings' first practice for the Greasy, Grimy Green Bay Packers coming into historic U.S. Bank Stadium Week 1 to get smacked. That's right, man. This is what he had to say. So he led off the press conference. This is from Alec Lewis of The Athletic, the new beat writer, a.k.a. the new Chad Graff. Kevin O'Connell began this morning's presser with some words about 21-year Minnesota Vikings college scout Kevin Mccabe, who passed away recently after a battle with leukemia. Just wanted to offer our support to his family, to the internal staff who knew him. And he'd been a West Coast base area scout for the Vikings for a number of years. Also, he ran the running backs drills at the Combine. So just a football scout guy, family man as well, and it's just really unfortunate. So thoughts and prayers with the Mccabe family at this time. And then Kevin Seifert, ESPN. As Packers week begins, O'Connell said, "I know how good we can be, but as I'll tell our team today, we've got to see it. That's a lot for us. That's a lot for us. That's a lot." That's for a lot of us. Nailed it. I say us for a reason. That's our coaching staff. That's our players. All the things we've put into place. Now, O'Connell, he's using the leadership tactic of it's us. We all need to get better. We all need to keep grinding. We. Not you, where we've seen that before. But I do like how Kevin O'Connell, he does have humility. He does say that I got to get better. Our team has to get better, our players and coaches, because it's one thing to call out a certain segment of the team, but when you're calling yourself out first and taking ownership of a situation, be like, hey, we got to do this, I got to do this, blah, blah, blah. I think that it does defray some of the stress because, O'Connell said, there will be times when things don't go the team's way. How they react is going to define how the season is going to go. The good team, like everyone can be front running when things are going well. But what happens when reality hits you in the mouth? What happens when a play doesn't go your way, a call doesn't go your way, an injury happens, alien abductions happen? What's going to happen? Like, how do you react and respond to that? Because champions, they get back up off the canvas. Knock them down 7 times, they get up 8. That doesn't make sense, but it was from a Dwayne Wayne commercial. Thomas and Pioneer Press. Vikings coach Kevin O'Connell on facing Packers offense is going to be an unbelievable challenge for our group, but said he's excited for it. But hey, maybe Alan Lazard, the Packers wide receiver 1, won't play because he didn't practice today because he got stepped on last week. Great. There's a joke in there somewhere. Seifert, go. O'Connell said he didn't encounter any significant hiccups while multitasking play calling and game management during the preseason. He did make one adjustment, moving OC Wes Phillips from the sideline to the coach's booth. Now, this does make sense since Phillips is the offensive coordinator, but up top he can see everything, and he can relay it down to Kevin O'Connell. He can relay it down to Kirk Cousins, and I think that it's going to be a really good compromise because both on the sidelines and maybe you had the quarterback coach up in the booth. Now, the Wes Phillips is basically the Kevin O'Connell role where he played with the Rams last couple seasons, where he's going to be a big part of the game planning as well as implementation, play calling on game day. It's going to be Kevin O'Connell. And as we've seen throughout the NFL, offensive-minded head coaches can manage the game as well as call plays. They can walk and chew gum at the same time. It's a little bit different calling defensive plays since it's much more about reactions and adjusting as opposed to just imposing your will as offensive play caller. So I think O'Connell, he did fine in the preseason. Of course, it's vanilla, play calling, but it didn't seem like it messed with the game management aspect from that regard. Thomason. Vikings coach Kevin O'Connell on his Sunday regular season head coaching debut. I'd be lying to you if I said I wasn't going to be a little extra excited. It is my first game as a head coach, and it's against your division rival. You got a good shot, even though you're underdogs at home. Please, just really start off the Kevin O'Connell, Kwesi adofo-mensah regime with a bang. Big time win right in the grill of your division rivals. Will Raggett, Sports Illustrated. Vikings head coach Kevin O'Connell. I know how good we can be, but we got to see it. All the things we put in place schematically, all those things come to fruition in the first game. So you're talking about the defense against the Packers offense as well as offensively as well, because we've had a little taste of the offense. It's still primarily an outside zone running team. You're seeing a lot of movement. You're seeing a lot of play action. You're seeing a lot of crossers. You're seeing a lot of things. But we want to see all the other wrinkles. Like, we want to see what Kirk Cousins is going to do in this offense. We want to see how Justin Jefferson is going to be moved around and utilized. We want to see how Dalvin is going to be used potentially as a receiver. We want to see it. We want to see it, man. Also, that defense, what's going to happen on third down? Like, is Donatello going to get all spicy and just get after what's going to happen with personnel? Is DJ Wanham, Patrick Jones maybe even getting on the field with Daniil and Za'Darius? Go hunt NASCAR package. Woo. Love it, man. Lastly, Thomason, Vikings coach Kevin O'Connell was asked to compare Justin Jefferson and Cooper Kupp. They both impact the game at an elite level. What really matters to both players is that they have impact all over the field. And that was the whole thing. Right? Jefferson getting the Cooper Kupp treatment where one for one, they're not similar players. Not really. I mean, they just play the wide receiver position on the roster depth chart. But for Jefferson, I think that he can be used in a multitude of ways like they did use Cooper Kupp, where they can move him all around. He can certainly play the slot. He can certainly play the outside. He can play tight. He can play wide. He can play in the backfield, which we actually saw at some points last season with Clint Kubiak. Just getting also we saw it in training camp this year. One of Jefferson's largest plays from joint practices against the Niners was him lining up in the backfield and getting a favorable matchup. So it's not so much that Jefferson has to be Cooper Kupp, even though Cooper Kupp last year won the Triple Crown, Super Bowl MVP, Super Bowl ring. I mean, that's not bad to emulate. But I think what is more going to carry over is, hey, defenses know that Justin Jefferson is going to get the ball. He's still going to get the ball. And that's exactly what happened with Cooper Kupp last season. And I can't wait to see what JJ does in year 3. So that's it. That's Kevin O'Connell's press conference from Wednesday ahead of Packers week. Let us know your thoughts and our thoughts in the comment section below. Subscribe for daily Vikings takes. Want to support the work? Put a little something in the Venmo. But until next time, Skull Production Value.